When a woman pulls away, most men panic, and that's the first mistake. Let's be real. Too many men were taught to chase, that the moment a woman goes cold, starts replying late, or acts distant, it's your job to fix it, to win her back, to beg, to prove yourself. But here's the hard truth. That mindset is exactly why she's pulling away in the first place. See, the modern man has been emotionally domesticated. He's been told that love means over-investing, over-explaining, over-chasing. And women? They feel it. They know when you've lost your edge, when you've stopped leading and started pleading. The average man thinks, she's ignoring me. What did I do wrong? The high-value man thinks, she's ignoring me. That's her choice, and I've got mine too. This video is not about toxic games. It's about emotional strength and respecting your value. Because here's what no one told you. Her silence is not just a test. It's a mirror. And what it reflects is your emotional dependency or your power. Now, some will say, but what if she's going through something? Fine, let her go through it. You don't chase clarity, you attract it. The moment you stop reacting like a needy man, everything changes. When you stop sending double texts, stop overthinking every emoji, stop wondering if she still likes you. That's when your masculine energy returns. And guess what? That's when they start paying attention again. This isn't about revenge or manipulation. It's about realizing that when someone pulls away, your reaction tells her who you really are. You either act like a man who needs her to feel whole, or you act like a man who was whole before she even showed up. If you've ever been ghosted, breadcrumbed, ignored, or I'm just not feeling it anymore, this is for you. You're not here to chase love. You're here to attract respect. Let's get into what you need to do, step by step, when a woman distances herself from you. Not based on fantasy, but based on real masculine grounding. 1. Stop reaching out first. If she's gone cold, stop texting her, stop calling, stop checking in. Every time you initiate when she's ignoring you, you're showing her you're more invested than she is. That kills attraction fast. When a woman starts distancing herself, pulling back, replying late, acting cold, the last thing you should do is double down on attention. You're not helping the connection. You're burying it. Let's say you were talking every day, and then suddenly she starts replying hours later, or not at all. Most guys panic. They text again, then again, and each time her interest drops further. Why? Because your behavior screams neediness, not confidence. You think you're being consistent. She thinks you're being clingy. A man who respects himself doesn't chase someone who's drifting. He notices the shift and pulls back. He doesn't ask, "What's wrong?" He watches. He doesn't force connection. He gives space and sees who fills it. Let her come to you. If she doesn't, that silence told you everything. Don't try to talk it out immediately. When a woman starts pulling away, most guys rush in with, "Can we talk?" Bad move. Trying to force a conversation when she's already emotionally disconnected just makes things worse. You're giving her more power while you're losing control of yourself. You're basically saying, "Your distance is shaking me, and I need you to fix how I feel." Let that sink in. She knows she's being distant. You don't need to explain it to her. She feels it more than you do. So, the more you try to get clarity right away, the more she disconnects. Why? Because she can smell pressure, and nothing turns her off faster than emotional pressure from a man who's unsure of himself. Here's what most men don't get. You don't fix emotional distance with emotional conversations. You fix it with presence, space, and self-respect. She's not going to reconnect because you brought up where things are going. She'll reconnect when she starts missing how it felt to be around you, the version of you that wasn't over-analyzing every shift in tone. Let her feel that space. If she wants to talk, she will. If she doesn't, that's your answer. And the man who can sit in that silence without trying to force a connection, that's the one she won't forget. 3. Reclaim your routine, not the relationship. When she pulls back, most men throw their whole life off track trying to get her attention again. They stop going to the gym. They lose focus at work. They sit around wondering what went wrong. And worse, they make her the center of their emotional world. That's backwards. When someone distances themselves from you, that's not the time to chase. That's the time to recenter yourself, to shift your energy back into your routine, your grind, and your growth. You were doing fine before she came along. But the second she started acting cold, you dropped everything and made her your mission. That's not masculine. That's insecure. And she can feel it. Women don't respect men who crumble the second they feel unwanted. They respect the man who keeps moving, the one who doesn't get emotionally thrown off course, the one who stays on his path, no matter who leaves. You don't need to win her back. You need to win yourself back. Get back to the gym. Lock in your schedule. Make plans that don't include her. Stack wins. Build momentum. When you focus on becoming sharper, stronger, more disciplined, her silence stops mattering. And ironically, that's when women tend to notice again. Because nothing is more attractive than a man who's not begging for attention. He's earning respect. 4. Silence is a message. Listen to it. Too many men ignore the loudest message a woman can send. Her silence. She stops calling. She stops checking in. Her replies go from full sentences to dry one-word texts. And what do most guys do? They pretend not to notice. Or worse, they keep texting like nothing's changed. That's not strength, that's denial. Here's the truth. When a woman pulls back, she's communicating, just not with words. She's showing you where her interest is. She's showing you where the emotional connection really stands. And if you keep pushing forward, acting blind to the distance, you're disrespecting yourself. A lot of men need to wake up. You're not being loyal by ignoring her detachment. You're being passive. You're not being a nice guy. You're being a man who doesn't know when to walk away. And deep down, you know it. You feel the energy shift. You sense the coldness. But you still hope that if you just wait it out, she'll come back. Stop. She's showing you the truth. And the man who has self-respect doesn't argue with reality. He pays attention. He adapts. He walks when it's clear he's no longer valued. You can't force closeness. You can't beg for effort. And you definitely can't keep rewarding silence with more attention. Start listening to what's not being said. Her distance isn't an accident. It's a decision. Now what's yours? 5. Don't be her emotional dumping ground. If the only time she hits you up is when she's sad, bored, or complaining about her life, you're not her man. You're her therapist, her diary, her emotional sponge. And here's the harsh truth. That role never leads to attraction. Too many guys confuse emotional availability with being emotionally used. Just because she vents to you doesn't mean she values you. In fact, some women keep men around just for emotional support, while giving their time, energy, and body to someone else. You become the guy who listens to all her problems, while she's out with the guy who doesn't care about them. Read that again. If she's distant when you want to connect, but suddenly available when she needs to offload stress, that's not a relationship. That's emotional convenience. And if you keep showing up every time she snaps her fingers, you're teaching her that she can ignore you until she needs you. You're not her safe space. You're her backup plan. And the longer you play that role, the more invisible you become as a man. You want to be respected? Stop being the guy who gives her emotional comfort while she gives nothing back. You're not cold for pulling back. You're not rude for setting boundaries. You're a man with self-worth. Let her deal with her emotions how she wants. But don't be the one holding the bag when she only shows up empty. 6. The more you chase, the more she runs. The harder you chase, the faster she pulls away. It's one of the most brutal lessons for men to learn. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. Attraction isn't built through pressure. It's built through presence, power, and control of your energy. And chasing. That's energy out of control. You call first, you text first, you check her stories, you like every post. You bring up how off she's been. And what happens? She gets colder. Not because she's evil, but because you're showing her that your value depends on her validation, and no woman is attracted to a man who's begging for her attention, even if it's subtle. You become predictable, too available, too obvious. And once she knows she's got you, she loses curiosity. And once she loses curiosity, the game's over. Here's the truth. Women don't run from men who chase. They run from men who chase desperately. Control your urge to fix the distance. Hold your frame. Let her come to you, or let her drift. Either way, you win. Because a man who doesn't chase doesn't lose himself, and that's the man she remembers. 7. Attraction is not built through pressure. You can't pressure a woman into wanting you again. You can't talk her into attraction. You can't guilt her, convince her, or emotionally squeeze her back into liking you. That's not how this works. Attraction isn't logical. It's felt. It's created through energy, mystery, presence, and how she perceives you as a man. And if your vibe is anxious, needy, or always seeking reassurance, she won't feel drawn to you. She'll feel drained by you. Let's be clear. Trying to fix the connection by forcing conversations, asking where things stand, or pushing her to explain herself doesn't bring her closer. It just puts pressure on her to feel something she no longer feels, and that pressure pushes her further away. It's not your words that draw her in. It's how you carry yourself without her. When you're calm, focused, and unbothered, she notices. When you back off instead of begging, when you let her go instead of clinging, that's when she starts to wonder. That's when you become attractive again. Not by trying harder, but by trying less and standing taller. Pressure repels. Power attracts. Choose wisely. And she's not too busy. She's uninterested. Let's kill the biggest lie men keep telling themselves. She's just busy. No, she's not. She's just not interested anymore. At least not in the way you want her to be. Because here's the truth. No one is too busy for who they actually care about. People make time for what they value. And when a woman is ignoring your calls, delaying her replies, or suddenly has a packed schedule, that's not busyness. That's disinterest. It's easier for her to say she's overwhelmed than to tell you she's checked out. And it's easier for you to believe she's just going through something than to face the fact that she's no longer emotionally invested. But here's where men mess up. They keep waiting. They keep hoping. They keep making excuses for her behavior instead of accepting it at face value. Wake up. If she was really into you, she'd find 5 seconds to reply. She'd send a voice note. She'd check in. She'd care. But when she doesn't, stop spinning stories in your head to protect your ego. The longer you lie to yourself, the harder it hits when the truth finally lands. You deserve clarity, not confusion. Respect, not breadcrumbs. If she's too busy for you consistently, take the hint and stop chasing ghosts. 9. Sometimes she's testing your masculinity. Not every woman pulls away because she's lost interest. Sometimes she's watching how you handle distance. She wants to see, will you stay centered? Will you spiral emotionally? Will you chase her for validation? Or will you hold your ground? This isn't about games, it's about emotional strength. Women are wired to test men. Not always on purpose, but it happens. They pull back slightly to see what version of you shows up. And too often, guys fail that test. They overtext. They over-explain. They try to win her back with emotion. They stop being men and start being performers. And when she sees that shift, the attraction dies. Not because she's cruel, but because deep down, she wants to feel safe with you, emotionally, energetically, and mentally. She wants to know that you don't fold under pressure. When she pulls back, hold your frame. Stay composed. Stay focused on your purpose. If it's a test, you'll pass it by doing nothing, by letting her come to you when she's ready. And if it's not a test, if it's real detachment, your silence will reveal that too. Either way, you win by staying grounded. Your masculinity is not proven when things are easy. It's revealed when things get uncertain. Satan, you're the prize. Act like it. Too many men forget this. You're the prize. Not because you're cocky, not because you think you're better, but because you know your value and you refuse to hand it over for free. When a woman pulls away, most guys panic like they're about to lose everything. But that mindset only exists when you've made her the prize, not yourself. A high-value man doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't compete for love. He doesn't fight for someone who's already walking out the door. He knows. If you want to go, go. But you don't get to come and go as you please. This is what women respond to. Not arrogance, but certainty. A man who holds himself to a higher standard. One who doesn't tolerate disrespect. One who doesn't lose himself in the process of trying to keep someone else. When you move like you're the prize, people feel it. And when you don't, they feel that too. You set the tone for how people treat you. So stop handing over your worth. Stop begging for attention. Stop reacting like you're replaceable. You're not. But you have to start acting like it, or no one else will. Here's the truth nobody wants to say. Sometimes the moment she pulls away is the moment you get your power back. Not because she left, but because you finally stopped chasing. Because you finally started respecting your own value more than her attention. Because you finally realized if she doesn't see your worth, that's her loss, not your emergency. If you've been through this, I want to hear it. Drop a comment, tell your story, and I'll respond personally. Let's talk, man to man, about how to stop losing yourself over women who already made up their minds. We build strength here, not just in relationships, but in identity. You're not just watching this video. You're about to move differently from this day forward. Let's go.